Halloween's here, which is why I'm building 7 of the most iconic scary movies in Lego. And at the end I'm throwing a massive Halloween party for all of the minifigures. Let's get right into it. Fred, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy and Scooby are part of the mystery gang. Now these guys love solving mysteries. Well, most of them. One day they receive a newspaper about a haunted roller coaster, and they just had to check it out. Since this is a spooky castle ride, I bought loads of masonry bricks to build the walls, complete with the stuff you'd usually find, like weapons so figures can duel, torches, and these massive wooden doors where a minifigure can enter. Next to that there's a spot for this scary black knight. His duty is to protect this box full of gemstones. Over here there's some lava with flames erupting from the pit, and there's a cage hanging over it with a skeleton who must have been locked up for stealing treasure. For the roller coaster I used some yellow and red pieces for each of the cars, with the front car having a scary face at the front, and then attached it onto the track. And to scare all the guests, I added a wicked witch who's cooking up an evil potion. On the left we've got a basket full of food which I'm sure Scooby would be interested in. And over here there's a gold chest, and if you open it up, it's filled with Halloween candy. As the mystery gang walks in, the doors slam behind them and it turns out they're trapped. The knight, executioner and witch all come to life and corner them. Luckily there's a green button next to them which turns on the ride, and they just about manage to escape. As the ride quickly comes around, the knight is hit with full force, and it turns out that Mr. Wickles is responsible. Previously his plans were spoiled by the mystery gang when stealing priceless art, and was out for revenge against them. And I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids. Pause. There's 5 killers hiding at different points within this video, so make sure to look out for that. Now it's time for the second movie, so we're heading to Freddy Fazbear's, with the scene where William Afton makes his entrance. For the base I used some grey plates, then tiled it over with these 1x1 tiles to create the iconic checkered pattern. Instead of using regular arches for the entrance, I used some of these Technic bricks to flip the assembly upside down. And I also built these hinged wall sections out of tan bricks with a red stripe. On the left side I added a yellow claw machine with a bunch of studs you can win, and a golden trophy if you're lucky enough. Next to it I built a working vending machine, and if you insert this gold bar, you can buy any drink you want. Whereas on the right there's a seating area with plenty of pizza for the minifigures to eat, which is probably expired but still delicious. For the minifigures, we've got Mike. He's got a stud shooter to represent his taser, Abby, William Afton, Vanessa, and the 4 animatronics. We can have Spring Bonnie entering the pizzeria, and have Mike and Vanessa working together to defeat him. Then I placed Abby in the back running away from Freddy and Chica, which I thought would be kind of funny. Alright, let's move on to the third movie, where I'll be building the opening scene from Scream. I used some grey tiles to build the patio, adding some transparent blue pieces for the pool, a plant with some flowers, and this scary pumpkin as a Halloween decoration. I also left a jumper plate so we can add something else later on. For the house I used some of these snot bricks to create the windows, and used a bunch of these tan tiles to create the wooden floor with a grey carpet. Then filled it out with a bunch of furniture like a bookshelf, TV, couch and a tall plant in the back. It's Halloween night and Casey's watching some TV. Then she hears the phone ring. Now Scream loves playing games, so he challenged Casey to a game of movie trivia where Steve's life is at stake. Here's how we play. I ask a question. If you get it right, Steve lives.
No, please don't hurt him.
Name the killer in Friday the 13th.
Jason. I've watched this movie 100 times.
I'm afraid that was a wrong answer. To be honest, I love how this scene came out, and I can't wait to build the next scene, which is from Beetlejuice. I'll be recreating the church scene since this was one of my favourite parts of the movie. Let's start off with the massive cake. It's got a white and red colour scheme with loads of shiny gold pieces and a little minifigure on top. I can't believe it's twice as big as this Lego Batman. Now I just have to make this build big enough for the cake. So I used some grey plates and tan bricks to create the base, and built the walls using a bunch of these white bricks, adding details such as the glass windows, candles, and this assembly at the back with some clouds and lightning. Now we can add the finishing touches like some plants on each side, a couple church benches, and some phones scattered around. We've got Beetlejuice and Lydia here who can stand together, and Astrid, Delia and the priest can all dance around the cake. I also built this squad of cops. We've got the Keep It Real cop as the leader, and 3 agents who are ready for anything. And with that the church is complete, with all the fun characters and the glass being smashed in, which looks insanely cool. Now for the 5th build, we're heading straight into a zombie apocalypse, with Shaun of the Dead. One of the main locations from the movie is of course the Winchester, so I decided decided to recreate the infamous pub with a horde of zombies lurking outside. For the minifigures, we've got Shaun himself, his girlfriend Liz, his best friend Ed, Diane, and David. And they've all got weapons to help fight off the zombies. For the Winchester, I used some grey plates for the base, and tiled it over with dark grey tiles for the street section, and dark tan for the interior. Then I built 6 different wall sections, with some masonry bricks and a bunch of windows, and connected them together using hinges to create a really cool curved look. As for the interior, I added a wooden table with 4 grey chairs, and a bunch of drinks and snacks on the table, like this can of Fanta and a couple packs of Cheez-Its. On the left I built the bar with some drinks, taps, and a shotgun which can be used to hold back the zombies. I also built this Plants vs Zombies arcade machine since I used to play this game all the time, and placed it over here in the corner. As they're sitting enjoying bottles of apple juice, Ed boots up the Plants vs Zombies game, and suddenly all the zombies are drawn to their location. Now they have to suit up with their weapons and fight to survive the apocalypse. And with that, the Winchester is complete. So now we're heading to a world full of ghosts. And who better to deal with threats like these than the Ghostbusters? You've got Peter Venkman, Ray Stantz, Egon Spengler, and of course Winston Zeddemore. Now for this build, I'm creating a haunted library. I started with a bunch of these dark grey plates, and added some dark tan tiles to finish the flooring. To create the books, I stacked a bunch of colourful plates and tiles on top of each other, which makes it look a bit unorganised. Then added 4 different bookshelves to the base. Over in this corner, I built a table using these tan telescope pieces for legs, and added some stuff on top like a red phone, a map, and this book which a minifigure can read. Apparently this library is haunted, so the Ghostbusters are called in to check it out. As soon as they get there, something isn't right. Bright green goo starts dripping from the bookshelves, and there's droplets all over the floor. Then they see a floating ghost librarian.
Okay, I have a plan. I know exactly what to do.
Then the ghost scares them and they all run away.
Get her!
That was your whole plan. Get her.
And with that, the Ghostbusters scene is finally complete, with the 3 Ghostbusters and the librarian ghost. So let's focus on the final movie. It is one of my favourite horror movies, and I absolutely love the scene where Georgie runs into Pennywise. So let's build that. Basically what I want for this build is to create part of the road, with the drain where Pennywise can look out. I started off with some grey plates for the base, and built up the grass section, leaving some space for Pennywise. To make it look a bit overgrown, I added some curved pieces, slopes, and plants. And for the roads, I built these white lines along the centre, and added some blue tiles to represent the rain. Now we can add on the finishing touches, like this barrier which Georgie bumps into, and this sign which may or may not use an illegal building technique. For the figures, we've got Georgie, who's got some dark blue legs, a yellow jacket, and a scared face. Whereas Pennywise has an old grey clown outfit, and a balloon which kinda looks like a lollipop. And if you thought one Pennywise was bad, how about a second? Have you ever wondered what happens after Georgie is dragged into the sewers? Well, let's find out. Down here there's a massive Halloween party. There's a DJ booth for Shaun and Ed, some orange and purple speakers, a couple spiders on the wall, and some multicolored lights so they can have a disco. I also built a mini snack table full of Halloween candy, pizza, and some drinks. Literally everyone turned up like the Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice, Freddy Fazbear, Scream, and the whole mystery gang. And here's the 5 killers from earlier. Let me know how many you spotted, and I'll see you in the next one.